Hi everyone and welcome. Today we are bringing you special arena battle. Today's episode of Final Fantasy VII is the original Final Fantasy VII. Special arena battle takes place inside of the Gold Saucer. It is done solely by Cloud. The aim of this stream would be to go in. We're going to show the material we use and the items we use to go in. Hopefully we'll be able to kill it. Hopefully first time. If we kill it first time, explain what you'll get if you keep doing that battle. Probably do a couple more, hopefully a total of 10 if we can get it done quickly enough. Show all the items you can get from it. If not, and we struggle, they could just be us showing you the whole single battle. I think the creature itself is called Proud Claude or something like that. Anyway, we'll get on, head to the Gold Saucer, and we'll get this arena battle done. Okay, first things first. Obviously, we saved it outside, but we'll quickly show what we've got Cloud equipped. So if we go into materia, we have his ultimate weapon. We got that from defeating ultimate weapon, the big dragon. So when we beat that yesterday, we got his best weapon. This has 0 growth for materia, but it's okay. We're not really looking to grow materia in today's episode. So, having that on just for the extra damage will help. We also have Side Rich on chest. Actually, I'll go equip just to show you. That decreases all elemental damage by a half. Also, as you can see, has very high defense of 100. So it means you'll take a bit less damage. The ribbon, you have to have a ribbon. At the minute, we have 2 ribbons. One's with Cloud, one's with Barrett. And hopefully today we'll show you how to get the 3rd ribbon of the game. Material-wise, because all we've got is ultimate weapon on, we have 1 HP plus. This is to put Cloud's HP up to maximum of 9,999. 1 MP plus, put his NP up to maximum of 999. We are going in and trying this little tactic, which is to use Knights of the Round. It's not a master Knights of the Round. We are going to use Knights of the Round. We have 3 charges on that. Got that paired with MP Turbo. This means use more magic. We cast it, more MP, and it does a bit more damage. We also have W Summon, which allows us to summon twice. So we're going to summon Knights of the Round twice. We have Enemy Skill. This is to make sure we put Big Guard on ourselves so we get haste, get magic, barrier and barrier. We got Mime. This is so that after we cast W Summon with Knights of the Round, we can then mime in the other rounds and then hopefully keep going and hopefully get this arena thing done. It is a semi-hard fight. And we also have Restore. That's so we can put Regen on ourselves to keep our health ticking up. Okay. Here we go. We need to go all the way up the Gold Saucer and to the battle arena, the battle square. Now to unlock this special battle, you have to make sure you kill the ultimate weapon, which we did yesterday, which was the dragon that was flying around. So that gives you Cloud's best weapon. You need to have that, as well as we've done the regular battle arena in order to have W Summon, which we've got it on, as well as Omni Slash, Cloud's level 4 limit. And after you have those 3, which is the prerequisite in order to unlock this battle, you can go and the woman behind the desk will offer you an invitation to go and fight these special battles. Get Omni Slash and the W Summon. You'll do the regular battles, work your way up, get enough points, go here, use the points. Don't have any points so I can't show you, but use the points in order to go down and buy the items. With the point system in here as well to start with, if you built up points and then went, oh, I'm going to go save it, don't. As soon as you leave this area, all your points reset to 0. So you have to make sure you get, spend a full day, if it must be, just to be here, grind up the points you need to get Omni Slash and the W Summon. Once you've done that and you've got the ultimate weapon, come back here. Come over here. Speak to this woman. Here we go. Now I've been thinking about it for a while now. You must be pretty strong. We are. Probably strong enough to take on the top 1 or 2 fighters. Maybe you'll be good enough. The big match. Oh, we're about to. He invites us to do it. Okay, let's do it. Can't pick who's going in. So in the other arena battles, you could pick. In this one, Cloud. Basically, Cloud or Bust. They're all quite hard enemies. But you know, I think we've got this. First thing we do, we will put Big Guard on. And we will regen. We're going to keep our limit ready, which is Omni Slash. Keep that ready just in case we do need it. Right, so W summon. Knight to the round, Knight to the round, bosh. Sit back, grab your drink, watch one of the longest routines there's going to be. Also a tactic we're going to be using on the super bosses, which are the last 2 weapons that are around, which is Emerald Weapon and Ruby Weapon. So I'm going to try to use this tactic where we use Knights to the Round, W Summon Materia, other people with Mime, getting it in, getting all this damage done. Basically teach them a lesson, you know? It is quite low. The advantage with Mime, after you do your initial W summon, and it registers do the 2 cast, so it'd be registered to do the 2 cast, you lose that MP, but when you do Mime, it just repeats that action. So even though it's done it once, Mime should repeat the same action we just done, and the Mime action doesn't cost any MP. This is the part that's going to be a bit tricky. Trying to make sure we don't get an overly bad random wheel in the slot machine. Because, bang, HP half. Quite bad actually. Well, it's okay at the minute. It's not overly bad. Okay, with Mime. Not overly bad because of what we've got thingied. Can't afford another one because the Proud Clod hits for quite a bit of damage towards the end. But the aim of these is to go through and get... You need to get through to the last battle. There's a total of 8 battles. You get to the last one, you will fight special boss. Basically, all these you're fighting really are end bosses of the regular ones. And what you really want on the real system is to not have anything that's going to be detrimental to you. Because unlike on the other ones where the reels will determine how much battle points you get and all that, this way you don't get battle points, you're just basically going bang, bang, bang. I think the Mime actually used the MP, didn't it? I didn't think it did. I think my MP's gone down by 200 again. Not 100% sure. We'll find out. We'll find out in the next battle. We've had it if we get rid of the yellow materia. What we really want is just a lot of poisons. Status effects, because we've got ribbon on. Bosh. That's armor's broken, so I take quite a bit of damage. That's still fine. Still fine, we'll get him with the Mime. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, get Knights of the Round up to Master. which I would recommend doing for other points. You don't really need it for this battle, but if you get all your summons to the master level, they will get you take it to Cosmo Canyon, transform all the master ones into a single materia called Master All. I wouldn't recommend doing that until after you defeated both the weapons. Mainly because first time we do this and get to the final battle boss in here and kill it, you get a materia called Final Attack, which if you pair that with Phoenix, preferably Master Phoenix, so you want a Master Final Attack and Master Phoenix, about, I think it's a total of 5 times when your people die. Each time they die, up to 5 times, they would use the Phoenix summon. When the summons Phoenix, it resurrects everyone that's dead. I don't think it works on the Master All that way. The Master Summon, sorry. Come on, Lucky 7. Do. And all we do after this one, we'll top back up our barrier, put back on our regen, and W summon again 2 Knights of the Round, go back in, and we should be able to mime all the way to the end. The reason you'll do this as well, so obviously getting Final Attack, it's a materia that's great to have, especially when you're fighting the super bosses and stuff like that, like the 2 weapons. You also, as you go through, you can keep doing these fights, and you're basically doing the same fight. If you do it, each time you do it, you get, after you get the Final Attack, you get rewarded just like junk type items until you do 10 battles, and if you win it 10 times, so you keep fighting, do 10 of them, you'll end up getting given the 3rd ribbon. Then getting that means all your characters have obviously ribbon, which is like the best accessory. Gosh. Okay. Bosh. Broken weapon. It's okay, we're not using the weapon at the minute. That just means our weapon would do like half damage. Big guard goes on. Then regen goes on. It does mean that Omni Slash won't be as effective as what I was hoping it would be by the end. We're okay, so W summon. Bosh, bosh. Again, I know it looks like, oh no, your barriers are down to almost half. But as you saw when we go into the other battles, getting the mime out straight away. Now you look, each one of these do maximum damage of 9,999. So they shoot through everything. I want to say, I think the double summon of it is enough to kill the end boss. I think. Don't quote me on that. But if it's not, hopefully with all our defenses up, we'll be able to just mime twice. That means we're hitting it 4 times. And should die after 4. Yeah, it's a good little tactic for these after you get the materia up. W summon with Knights of the Round paired with the MP Turbo. Due to the fact that, yeah, it uses more of your MP to cast it. Because you've got Mime, you just constantly keep churning it out until you have to top up your defenses. I have Raz. Oh, you got 68.75. Oh, excellent. I'm assuming that's a pass. I hope it's a pass, my friend. I mean, I know over here, 68.75 is a great result on exams. So hopefully that's what you needed. The advantage with this summon as well, especially doing a W summon with this, after you set it off and you're just miming, you literally just sit back and relax and just go, So was that the only exam you had to do? Did you just have one exam? Or have you got others coming up? I'd like to also say, though, this tactic on these bosses doing it this way makes all these fights a bit, like, very easy. There's that one down. How many are you on? Bang. Damn it. Not great having HP halved. Don't have a lot of HP to start with. We need to make sure we keep the barrier up. What we really wanted was either 0 MP, wipe out our MP because we're constantly using mime, and you can top that up with an item, or status effect would have been great. What we really want going into the next battle is we wanted to start straight on our turn. Like our bar being almost at the top. There's a high chance we won't survive one hit off the final boss. The final, well, it's not the final, like the final boss of the arena. If we can get a mime off and get these summons out, we potentially, I think, have won it. Right, with that gone, okay, we definitely won't be able to survive a hit. Here it is. We need oh, we did survive because it was the last piece of our shield. Oh, that could be lucky, that. Basically, what we're hoping for is this mime is enough damage to kill this. Now, we should do this summon twice. And if it's enough to kill it this time, we would get the final attack materia, which is what we need as part of our getting ready to do the two main weapons of Emerald and Ruby. But we'll also have to do this battle another 9 times in order to get Ribbon. But I'll do the other 9 battles probably off stream. You guys don't want to see me doing this battle over and over again. As me assuming that I've won it, innit? I think it has. Yep, cool. We all got the battle points for that. Win a special battle, you receive final attack. final attack, the go. It's only a level 1, so we'll have to get it up a few. But it automatically uses paired materia when disabled. So what that means is, when your character's knocked out, it will use the final attack. And with that, you want it paired with, especially a master version, because a master version means it's done 5 times, and you want it paired with Phoenix. What happens when Phoenix happens, that comes out, does a big Phoenix, does fire damage, and after it summons, anyone that's knocked out gets automatically resurrected. The Phoenix with that means if you're knocked out 5 times, it has goods when they're both master. It means that it has a chance to resurrect you 5 times. That done. Use the battle points to quickly buy stuff. Because remember what I said, when you leave, you lose the battle points. Before you do all that, you have to make sure that you did get your W summon and your Omni Slash. You need them before you're able to do that. Them with thingy weapon, the ultimate weapon. You know what? There's nothing in there that we really need. Because you've done that once. Go. Speak to her. She gives you the option to do the special battle again. And again, like I said, you need to do it 10 times in order to get ribbon. Be your third ribbon. Third one of them. Means if you get that, all your people have ribbon on. What ribbon does is on that defense bit here, you can see all those statuses and it makes you immune to all them. So that's something to do. As you saw how easy it was, obviously you got a bit of RNG on those slots. You're hoping the slots go in your favor. Almost didn't for us. Luckily the last second of the defense held up against the Power Cloud. As it hit, defense held up, because if it wasn't there, Cloud was going down. With that done, boom, we got the final attack materia, part of what we need, ready to fight the emerald weapon. What I'll also do, I'll go get the other stuff, so we're going to be almost ready to fight the weapons, which we might do next week. Station that way. What I'm thinking in next week's episodes is we might go into Midgar, help stop everything in there, and then after we clear up Midgar, before we go to the North Crater for the final bits, we'll go take on the 2 weapons, Emerald and then Ruby. The Ruby being the hardest, they're both really hard. The game themselves, when the game I think was originally released in Japan, like the original very first version, those the 2 weapons weren't in, Emerald and Ruby. Then they got added subsequently later. And I would still stand by 2 of the hardest bosses I've ever fought, especially Ruby weapon. And if you go in without a plan of how you're going to fight them, you're going to have a bad time, and you're probably going to lose. After grabbing that, we have to make sure we don't go near Midgar. Go near Midgar, we'll end up skydiving in. We don't want to do that yet. We want to skirt around. And we are going to go to Calm, which is the first town you went to just after Midgar. Down here. I'll land here. Hop inside. Now at the back, in this house here. I head upstairs. There's an old man. Speak to him. Now, in a previous episode when we did the underwater base, if you go back, if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch where we did underwater. There was a skeleton boat. Now, attacking that boat, we killed it using the ability known as Morph, which transformed the boat into a guidebook. Just a regular item. You want to keep that guidebook because we're going to hand it in to this guy here. Because obviously, he's reminiscent of his journey back when he was young. Friends are all gone. And these are what he wants. And these are the clues. So, a map that was sunk along with the ship. That's the undead ship. Guidebook, which you get from Morphin ship, which we did again back in the underwater episode. A rose that blooms once every 1,000 years in the desert. So that is actually ruby weapon, the desert rose. A harp that soothes those that hear it, earth harp. Now that you get from beating emerald weapon. Now normally when you look at that, you would go, so we get the guidebook first, then we get the rose, then we get the harp. Can do, but emerald weapon for the harp is actually easier than ruby weapon, I find. I find ruby weapon being the hardest boss. Basically, ruby weapon is the hardest boss I've ever fought up until I started playing the Soulsborne games. And Father Gascoigne was the next hardest boss. So that just shows how hard ruby weapon is. Especially if you don't know some of its moves and how to go in. Which we will show in a couple of weeks' time when we go do it. But these, you need to get, and when you get them, you hand in. Each one of these that you hand in on his side quest, he hands you something. So we're about to hand the guidebook to him. Handing the guidebook to him, he will give us a materia. The materia itself that he gives us, which we'll see in a second, is materia that's underwater materia. But this allows you to breathe underwater. Now, Desert Rose, when you hand that to him, he gives you a golden chocobo, the all-terrain chocobo, which you can also get from breeding. But obviously you can get it without breeding if you do it this way, which we will get as well. An Earth Harp from Emerald Weapon, when you give that to him, he'll hand you a version of the Master All Materias, which is Magic, Summon, and Command, which, of course, each one of them contains a master version of every one of those stuff. So a Master Magic has every magic, a master, like inside there's one materia. Same with the Summon, master of all the summons, and Command, master with all the commands. So there he goes. You wonder if anyone will bring it. After that, you speak to him again. We have the guidebook. Want to trade for underwater materia? Trade. Okay. Done deal. Now, this materia, overall, useless except for in one scenario. That one scenario, I mean, he could have came over and gave it to us. Damn it, old man. Underwater materia. Now, the underwater materia, like I said, useless in all but one scenario. So if I find it, there. Already at its maximum capacity. Can't go up, can't put AP in it. As you see, what it allows is underwater breathing. Now, the only scenario where that is useful, when you're fighting Emerald Weapon. When you fight Emerald Weapon, there's a time, 20 minutes. Which is a bit weird, because it's symbolizing that your characters can breathe underwater for 20 minutes. That's quite a good feat. But with this materia, the underwater one, it negates that, which means there's no timer. You can actually just take your time, try to think about what you're doing, and try to concentrate on the fight. So it's a good materia, especially one to get. Such an easy thing of transforming the ship. After that, we can now leave him. That basically makes us ready to do weapon fights. One of which is Emerald Weapon. You would have seen it before when we did the submarine chase. It is Base Junon. We're not going to fight it yet, we're just going to show. Get a little save going, just in case I accidentally bump into it. Keep going up and down, it'll eventually appear. Normally appears in there. There. That's Emerald Weapon. Okay? So that's one of the weapons we'll fight. That's the one that you need underwater materia for. We'll have everything sorted to fight that one. Probably the first one of the ones we do. So we'll probably do Midgar. And after we do Midgar, we'll tackle Emerald Weapon. It is, again, like I said, is what's classed as a super boss. Actually, don't want to move forward. They're actually, Emerald and Ruby Weapon are the two hardest bosses in the game. Actually harder than the end boss. And that's one thing that Final Fantasy actually does. Quite a lot of times in the games, it has some bosses in it, normally the weapons, that are harder than the end game boss. It's the equivalent to like doing Dark Souls 3, where you have the optional boss of, what's he called? The Nameless King, who's actually harder than the end boss, I would say. Or where you do the DLC bosses that are harder than the end boss. Like, what's his name? Slave thingy Gale, or whatever it is. But he's actually harder than the end boss. That's what these bosses are like. That's one. The other boss, if you go over, we're not going to fly too close, but to the quicksand, you'll now notice the red little thing waving. Look, it's going like a little red worm. That's actually Ruby Weapon. And I would say that is the hardest boss I've ever fought in any computer game up until the first time I played Bloodborne and came into contact with Father Gascoigne. That's how long this boss has been on my mind as a hard boss. And in these games, where it's a turn-based one, like there's no strategy of dodging and stuff like that. You had to figure out the strategy of area, what you're taking, how you go into those fights. And it's a very hard fight. With that being said, we are going to ignore him, fly over here, pop out of here. I've shown the two bosses, got all the prerequisites done. I am going to pop another save. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, actually where today's episode's going to end. I know what people are thinking. Only about 30-minute episode? Yes. Today, what we've done is shown, obviously we didn't know if we were going to kill the Claude, I think it's pronounced, or something like that. But the boss in the special arena, we didn't know we were going to kill it first time. Obviously we did, because, you know, we're awesome. Going in with that strategy, we showed it at the beginning. So if you want to take notes of what material we used, Cloud is obviously naturally level 88 as well. So if you want to get around about that level, do roughly the same thing. Obviously there's a bit of RNG when you go in based on whatever slots you get. We were a bit lucky and a bit unlucky. Lucky wise, we didn't lose our mine materia. Unlucky wise, our life got really small. But then lucky wise, we had a last second on our shield that protected us from dying in that final battle. But overall, that's roughly what you do. You go in, you do that battle once to get final attack. Work on getting after that final attack up to master, which we'll do offline because it is quite grindy. And you need that in order to fight, a bit of a safety net in your fight against Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon. Obviously, we then showed where to hand in the guidebook in order to get the underwater breathing. Again, something you need in order to fight Emerald Weapon. And what we're going to do as well in between today and next episode, which will be turning on Monday, between then and now and Monday, we'll get final attack up to master, as well as getting the third ribbon you get from doing that special fight 10 times. So after the first time, you get a useful materia. Then you get a whole lot of junk like Dio's autograph and all that type of stuff. But then after you do the final one, after you do it 10 times, you should be given a ribbon. Now you have to win it 10 times as well. Just go into the same strategy 10 times, bosh, bish, bash, bosh, done. Get your ribbon, all your characters got ribbon, jobs are good. So on Monday, we are returning again to Final Fantasy, and we will be hitting Midgar. We're going in, trying to stop Hojo from using the cannon. While we're in there, I think that's where we also find Cat Sith's special weapon, as well as Barrett's. It's one thing when you do it. We'll explain again tomorrow. Explain again on Monday. Make sure you have Barrett on your party in order to collect it. So we'll show all that on Monday. So if you're watching this on playback as well, and we've done that episode, it would appear at the bottom left. Also, thanks for coming and watching. You know, it's always great you guys watching on playback. So you hit that like button. For everyone else, also use on watching on playback as well. If you want to know what live streams are coming up, if you go to our channel, we have a schedule right at the top. See what coming up live. Could even be stuff like tomorrow night, where we will be doing Sekiro, Tell Us Lies Twice, a blind Let's Play. But if you're watching this obviously on playback, it could be something else. Only one way to find out, by going to our channel, seeing what's coming up live, or hitting that subscribe button, notification on, you're notified any upcoming live, or even any walkthrough guides that we do in order to get trophies in new games, because obviously we live stream a variety of retro games, but we also like a bit of trophy hunting in our spare time. Who doesn't? Anyway, that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon. Oh, just enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye, and stay safe.